Hello everyone. We're going to try something a little bit different this time. I've been neglecting YouTube a little bit, so I thought I'd make a new video. I've been wanting to for quite some time, so kind of happy to be back in front of the camera here. We're going to take a little bit of a look at Antilia. This will be version 0.2. It just got released within the dev team. I think actually I'm on 0.2.1, but not a big deal. So we just released this within the dev team. The other developers finally got a chance to kind of take a look at the state of the game, and we're now kind of going back into a regular internal testing of the game. I'm trying a lot of new things out here, so before we get too far into this, if I have any problems with audio or video synchronization, be sure to let me know in the comments below. I'll be reading them. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and take a look at the game right now, and then afterwards I'll probably have a few thoughts that I'll share just regarding the state of the project and things I'd like to do in videos moving forward. So let's take a look at Antilia 0.2. So welcome to Antilia version 0.2.1. This is a version that the dev team is now testing, and I'm now working on version 0.3. Let's go ahead and jump into single player mode here. We'll load this game up. You'll notice quite a bit of just graphical glitches and things that aren't working. There'll be several of them right here when I join the game. I'm very aware of these. This is the reason why the game is not in any sort of early access testing, because there's a lot of little things like this that we're still just early on. We're just trying to get things, basic foundation systems working. It's not really a game quite yet, but let's go ahead and take a look at some of the features I do have working, such as our new inventory system. And let me just say, I love this inventory system. I'm so happy with the way it turned out. It came out pretty much exactly how I saw it in my head. One of the first times it's actually happened where I had an idea in my head. I'd love to have this 3D inventory system, and it came out looking exactly how I imagined it looking. I'm kind of almost stunned. So you'll notice a lot of new features over the old MMO's inventory system. First off, it's its own screen. It's not a little window on the screen. I was pretty vocal that I wasn't happy with the way that was working in the MMO. So many gameplay systems were being reduced to 2D user interfaces. It felt like I was making an operating system, not a video game in a sense. So I went ahead and made the change to a sort of full screen system for not just inventory, but maps and schedules and journals, all that stuff. I think it's going to work a lot better for us. I'm a kind of person who believes that gameplay is king. I do try and make the graphics nice. Honestly, they're not always great in a lot of programmer art. But I think gameplay is key, and I think this is a inventory system that actually has a lot of gameplay elements to it. It's part of character progression. It's going to integrate well with the crafting system, whereas the icons never did. If you crafted a custom sword, the little icon when it changed, it just appeared as a sword. Now you actually see the sword that you crafted. You can visually identify things you've crafted based entirely on how you crafted them. So you'll see I have some effects working already, like if you hover over items, they spin, you get some information pop-ups, you can grab things, drag them around. You'll notice as you're dragging things, other slots that are inappropriate for the item that you're dragging, they do not highlight, so you can kind of tell where you can and can't drop things. If you drag an item over another item, you'll see the items already kind of swap spots, so you can get a little preview of where things are going to end up. You can move items around. We can split and combine stacks, but that's a little glitchy, so I won't do it right now. You can see I've split several stacks, and now I can't really combine them very well. So that's something I'll work on in the next version, of course. Also, the hotbar is starting to appear, but I don't have that working yet. And there's supposed to be equipment slots around the character that I don't have working yet. You'll notice there's different slot sizes, different types. That's a new feature. The old MMO, everything was just one slot type. I think that actually is really interesting, because now if you look at it, if you take a look here, you can only carry 4 items of this long, fishing pole kind of size. It creates a new sort of character limit, and also plays well with the character progression system, where as you level your character, you'll gain access to additional inventory containers of a particular type. So take, for example, a character that is a fighter. As they go down their progression tree, they will get more access to additional weapon rack style containers, whereas someone who's a cook will probably get more access to these kind of small slot kind of containers. So there's, depending on how you play a character, your inventory system will be part of the character's progression, which is really exciting to me. I think that's kind of a really neat feature. So different slot types, different sizes, large items like this tent here, you can imagine they'd be very bulky. You wouldn't want your character to be able to carry around 50 tents. It was kind of silly in the MMO. you could carry around so many large items. So I like the way this is going. I'll continue to improve it. There's inventory containers we're not even showing yet because I don't have them working. One is a mannequin where you'll be able to place items on slots on the side, and you'll see the mannequin 3D object itself actually display the set of clothing that you're putting on. It's kind of like equipping on your character, just on a mannequin. And then you'll be able to grab the base mannequin, drop that on your character, and swap out your entire outfit. Features like that I'm real excited about. Same with these other kind of containers. You might say open a cabinet in the game. This will be kind of a split screen thing. You'll see the cabinet up here, your inventory down here. You'll be able to grab a set of this set of 16 items, drag it to the cabinet and just drop it without having to manually move every single item. So I think these groups, these containers, they serve multiple functions, being able to, name them, filter them, expand your inventory in specific ways. I'm really excited the way this is turning out. And it feels not just like an inventory system, but it's a whole gameplay system. And I'm really proud of what we've done here. So that's really all the new features there is to see in version 0.2. I've already begun work on version 0.3. We're going to add things like the hotbar and visual stat indicators, health bar, energy, food, right here in the game mode. And then we'll start also having 3D objects in the world like the cactus and trees that you can click on that'll add items to your inventory and start the beginning of creating gameplay elements again. So we're really excited. It's great to see Antilia being developed again. I hope by the end of the year here, we'll have a nice build that we can give to the community. You can start testing it, and it'll start to, feel like the good old days of Antilia alpha testing. I can't really express just how exciting that is for me to get back and just working on Antilia in a way where when it's so early like this and everything just kind of just barely working, it's not quite so much fun. As we get further along and we start using the simulation engine to have it start doing dynamic stuff, and we start seeing Jadao and Ichi roaming around in these grasslands, I think it's going to be really cool. I really love the direction the game is taking. I know there's some people who have reservations about leaving the MMO format, but personally it feels like I have so much freedom now to really make the game that I really wanted to make. And that's really, I keep saying really, but I just can't describe how much better it feels to work on a game where you're really enthusiastic and you feel so much potential and there's so many things you want to do and you're excited to do. I'm really excited to see where the project goes. So as you can see, things are moving along. I want to try and be real open and honest with the community about the state of Antilia. I know it's been a long time, and in the 2017 blog post, the update on the project, there were things that kind of went wrong in 2017, and I'd like to make a video a bit more about that, about Toy Studio, and why we kind of got, what would you say, we started going down the garden path with that. There's too much, it's too much to put all on my plate to make a game engine, a really complex tool set that does all this collaboration stuff, and to try and make Antilia and all the things I want to do with Antilia. So I'm just letting some of that stuff kind of go back on the shelf. We're going to focus more on Antilia this year. Really focus on creating gameplay and getting back in alpha testing. That's really where I want to be at the end of the year. It's not going to be, and I'm trying to be real honest and just upfront, that it's not going to be the finished game at the end of the year that everyone probably wants. It's going to be back to the point where we're just getting in the game again, where it's probably gonna be very basic, just fishing, walking around and collecting items. And the next year, we'll just each month create more gameplay elements, more content, and just keep growing the game. I am gonna try and put more effort into making videos like this. I've got about 3 or 4 videos planned. I want them all to be fairly short, on the short side, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, not falling off the frame here. Not too long so that it takes a lot of effort. I'm also doing these kind of rough where I'm not gonna, like when I went off the frame there, I'm not gonna recut this over and over again. It'll just take too much time. If I lose a whole day to building video, that's a whole day lost to other development that needs to be done. So they'll be a little rough around the edges, and as I do more of them, I think I'll get better at the editing process, and just this kind of face-to-face with the camera kind of stuff, it's a little uncomfortable still. I'm still gonna do a lot of work on tools. We still need a lot of custom tools for Antilia, but I'm trying to avoid reinventing the wheel of everything. Sometimes there are certain processes where things like 3D modeling, I know I should probably be using another external tool to do that. At this point, it's not practical. It would take me months to learn another tool, whereas I have a tool that I've built and it works and I know how to use it, I'm gonna be effective in it. So I don't wanna waste more time doing things like that. I just wanna take what we have, make the most of everything I have, and just move the project forward. We were able to make the Antilia MMO with the tools I have, so I'm just going to keep improving things. I still think making Antilia good for mods is very important. So we'll keep improving the tools. We'll keep moving forward on the gameplay, and I'm really excited for this year, honestly. I think it's already been exciting seeing the dev team start playing the game again. And I really next want to just keep adding gameplay features and get it into the hands of players again. So looking forward to that. I hope you are as well, and I hope you'll stay tuned. Talk to you next time.